Hello everyone. So today I wanted to try something different, a little bit of a different kind of video. Um, Basically, we were having this discussion on the Druid channel on the ASF Slack, and it was brought to my attention by Clint that there are actually actions to bulk affect supervisors, to suspend supervisors, resume supervisors, and terminate them all in one action. And I wanted to add the button to the console to actually be able to surface those actions. And I kind of wanted to just do it and record a video of me doing it, maybe at the same time talk about how the web console development works and kind of what goes into it. Sort of maybe might be useful for anybody developing Druid or interested in contributing to the web console or to Druid itself. And this is not scripted. I haven't done this before, so you might encounter some issues, although this is probably on the smaller side of a feature that can be added. And hopefully by the end of the video, we'll actually make a pull request. All right, so where are we? I have a quick start Druid running right here. Basically, that's not it. Where is it? Right here. So I'm just running a quick start imply package of Druid. I'm going to be running an imply package of Druid just because it has the sampler component, so I can quickly add some data sources for my supervisors for testing. And this is its web console. As you can see, there's no there are no supervisors right now, but even if there were, there is no way to terminate them in bulk. And I want to do that. So let's get started. I guess we have the documentation here. It's pretty simple. We just need to post to suspend all, resume all, and terminate all. So I'm going to be looking to add those three actions to the console in some meaningful way. I was thinking nothing too sophisticated, maybe just a ... button right here that would open a menu, kind of like, that will just open a menu that will basically say, hey, submit like an action to kill all of that. Right, so let's get started. Now I have my WebStorm here, which is what the editor I use to develop everything. I really love it. I've been using it for a number of years. And it's already checked out on the web console directory within Druid. The web console directory is it's kind of like a sub project within Druid. It contains all the files for the web console, and this is like, once you get in here, this is npm and TypeScript land, and all the code lives in the src directory, and it's written in TypeScript, and we're going to see how we're going to start it, compile it, and do all the code stuff. But first things first, let's make sure we are up to date. So git fetch. All right, it's great. Git checkout master upstream and pull. Just really get up to date on everything. So we're like going to be developing on the top of everything. Master upstream is a branch I have. It's basically upstream master. Now I am synced to what upstream master is on Druid. This is 4th of July for anybody wondering. This is the commits I just got. So let's see what we have. Some good stuff. Looks good. Cool. So let's make a branch. Git checkout bulk actions. All right. So I have my branch called bulk actions. Now I can pretty much go wild. And let's see. So what am I going to do? All right, first things first, I'm going to start. So to start, I already, there's a README that kind of walks you through the basics of how to operate this. In pm install, you need to do all of that. I've already done all of that. So when you're ready, actually, you know what? Let's do, I don't need to, it'll take a while. So let's just skip all of that. Let's just do npm start. npm start will start the Webpack dev server. We'll actually open a console for me. It's waiting for it to compile right here. It's going to open it in my browser, and it's going to be live reloading it as soon as I start editing the code, which is really sweet. Really love Webpack Dev Server. Makes development so much easier. It's just waiting right now to compile the first file. Hopefully it will compile. There we go. And now this came back. Now the way this works is that if you look at what Webpack Dev Server is configured to do, is if you don't give it any kind of parameter, it will just connect to the router running on localhost 8888, which is this, no, not this, where is it? This quick start that I have running here, except it will open it in like the proper console. So this is, and it's going to run it on port 18081. I love palindromes, so there we go. Okay, so here we can close this one out. This is the actual console running on that Druid right now, and this is the console, the development console, where we're like developing in real time. Just to kind of show you that this is actually being like reloaded in real time. If you know, like I have these cards here. One is called data sources. If I like open the home view and just change the title to data sources, save that, it will compile straight away and build and reload it here, so it will, all my changes will reflect instantaneously. It's really nice. It's a really nice way to develop, and usually I develop on several screens. For this video I'm just using one screen because I don't know how to even make a video that goes across several screens and make it coherent. All right, so we don't need the home view, so we can close that. We don't need this either. Back to the original. Okay, so this is a running console right here, and I'm going to be adding, as I said, I'm going to be adding, I guess I have like one data source here because I ran through the quick start, but I'm going to be, I need to add a few more data sources. I need to have like supervisors. I need to have like at least two, I guess, if I'm trying to test my bulk actions out. I have 0 right now, so let's start by like just setting up our kind of environment, and I'll get 2 supervisors in there, and then we'll actually start developing. So first of all, I'm going to load some data. I'm going to make a Kafka supervisor, because that seems to be the module I have loaded. I don't have Kinesis loaded here in this cluster, so I'm going to do Kafka. And I already, ahead of time, I've written my servers down for me, and I have a topic called wiki ticker. It's just Wikipedia edits. So let's sample that. I'm going to use the new data loader here to really create these 2 supervisors. So I'm also going to not do anything fancy. I'm just going to click through all the next, except all the defaults. I really don't care because I will probably kill the supervisor within minutes. So, all right, sure. Everything looks, I don't care. I really don't care. All right, so there it is. There's my supervisor. It's pending. Okay, while that is going, I'm going to go and I'm going to load data again, and I'm going to, let's start from scratch, reset the spec. Let's do Kafka again. Let's pick those same Bootstrap servers. Oh, it pulled in some data from the old config. Should take care of that, but that's for a different video. All right, let's get some GitHub data in here. So this is just public GitHub edits. Again, just another data source we can play around with. I'm not even going to be playing with the data source itself. I just want the supervisor there. Okay, boring. Blah, blah, blah. Got myself a spec. Submit. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Good. So now the GitHub one is pending. The Kafka one is running. I should say that like I'm currently on a VPN connection to the AWS instance where these Kafka brokers are located, and that's how I'm just able to like query them. Right, cool. These are running, and we can see that they're starting to spawn tasks. There's an index Kafka task. So looking good. Like I've got some ingestion started. Probably in no time I'm going to start getting some. There's my wiki ticker data source. That's the first one I created. And there's the GitHub one. All right, cool. And it even ingested something already. Great. Let's just verify it's there. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's do this one. Perfect. Okay. So this is a great test bed. We're off to a great start. We have 2 supervisors. I could now go and like suspend one of them, reset one of them, but terminate. But I'm not, why would I want to do it in bulk? Well, if I'm doing some operation, like I'm gonna maybe like upgrade my Druid cluster or restart it or like do some crazy configuration, I might just want to like shut it all down, basically, kind of wind it all down. And that is a totally valid use case that we haven't accounted for yet. Well, we accounted for in the Druid API, but it would be nice to have a button for it here. So let's go into actually developing this. Go back to the WebStorm. All right, so the structure of the web console internally is pretty simple. We have basically every component is it's all React, and every component is in a file that is the same name as the component. There's only one class per file, and the file is kebab case with a matching CSS file next to it. I'm going to go into views, and the views are pretty self-explanatory with these. So I'm going to go into the task view, and I have here the actual logic of the view, the snapshot spec, so this is a test, and the styling for it. This is going to be a very simple fix. I'm not even going to need to write any styles or anything like that. So in here, I'm just going to navigate to basically the thing that renders this. So I have like render, supervisor. Okay, let's go to the render function. All right, splitter layout. That's this thing. That's this thing. Splitter layout, and then we have view controller bar supervisors. That's this is where we want to add it. And all right, so we have the submit supervisor button thingy here, and then we have the table column selector. This is this. All right, great. So I'm going to just put another button right here next to submit supervisor. It's going to go right here. But you know what? In the spirit of making stuff a little bit better, like always make things a little bit better than you found them, we actually have like the submit supervisor menu. Like all these menus are kind of like inlined in this render function. The render function is getting a little bit bulky. Probably would be best to extract it into its own function. So let's say we're going to have a function here. I'm going to call a function called render bulk supervisor actions. And this is the beauty of TypeScript. Basically, I'm going to type that in, and until everything is fixed, it won't actually like compile anything for me. It's just going to have errors now because it won't find it. Cool. All right, so let's do it. Let's add this function. Render bulk supervisor actions. We can, no shame in copy pasting. So let's take this popover, and it's going to return some popover. It's going to need a menu, so it's going to be a const bulk supervisor actions menu equals let's steal a menu component. Boom. That's good. Okay, so here's the thing. Like one of the nicest things about like this development environment is that you can see everything is red here. We're using Prettier and TSLint to really enforce a very specific code style. And the cool thing is like whatever editor integration you have, I have my Prettier file watcher here, so I just pasted some stuff really ham-handedly, but as soon as I like save or like it loses focus and therefore saves, it's going to reformat the code beautifully for me. and that's really nice. It makes development so much nicer. All right, so we don't need this menu item. We're gonna feed this in here. I think that icon is called more, and let's not give it any text. Let's just make sure that that looks correct. Yeah, so there's my dot dot dot. I mean, it has submit JSON task in it because I guess it's oh, where did I go? I guess it's this thing here. So all right, we have this more icon here, but we need to populate it with basically like the same actions as this, except in bulk. We can also use like the same styles. We're gonna call them reset, all, suspend, terminate. Let's see where these icons are, because this is probably like rewind and this is pause. We're just using the blueprint icons. Let's see where they come from. Okay, tasks, task menu, render task table. Come on, icons, the bane of my existence. It has to look good before it functions. Like let's go for looks first here. So let's make sure we like nail the icons, because if it looks good, it's half the battle. Okay, actions. Where is it pulling? Action cell. Great. Task actions. Where is it coming from? Get task actions. Perfect. All right, here we go. Wait, task actions? No, I want supervisor actions. Get supervisor actions, because I'm going to be copying these. All right, so I have reset, resume, suspend. So just copy all of this and go back here. By the way, I apologize to anybody who is like watching this video and is like, oh, I could do this so much quicker with my cool shortcuts. I'm sorry if you're like cringing. It's just how I do stuff, and I am not the fastest programmer. Probably one of the slower programmers. Oh, it refreshed under the hood because I like saved them. So I reset, suspend, terminate. So let's go with what APIs do I have? So I have suspend all, resume all, terminate all. There's no reset. Is there a reset all? Reset? Oh, I guess why would you want to reset a bunch of supervisors in bulk? All right, so no reset. Great, easy. So reset, gone. We just have resume, suspend, and terminate. Right, so let's do a resume all supervisors, and the icon will be resume as play. Next, we're gonna have, and this is just some bogus function right here. Let's just make it literally do nothing. What are you complaining about? Oh, we can rewrap it. Great. Well, that won't last long, but it's actually pretty helpful here. Play. Okay, pause. So this is suspend all supervisors, and lastly we have cross. That's terminate all supervisors. Save that. Let's see how that looks. Resume, suspend, terminate. Well, let's see. Use red for terminate here. I'll just stick with the same thing. So maybe like the terminate will be red. So let's add a intent danger. This is blueprint at its finest, prettier at its finest. great. Ooh, looking great, looking beautiful. Now let's make these things work. So again, there's no need to get creative when you're just adding some like auxiliary actions. We're just gonna follow the same pattern as everything else. So like let's follow the same pattern as when we like do like reset here. There's like a nice confirmation, and that's cool. So what happens there? So let's look at it. So get supervisor actions. This thing is the thing that generates this menu basically. So what do? We just have a reset supervisor ID and we set it on the state. What does this reset supervisor ID mean? If we look at it, if we search for it, we use a thing called a Async Actions dialog, which is just another component that's part of the web console. It's I think basically what it does is it's like a component to confirm and then perform an asynchronous action, which is like so common in the web console, because like basically like all of these things are like one of these. So like this will like post to some API, perform some asynchronous action, wait for it to come back, and then it will say, okay, I'm done. It will close itself. And here it's conditioned by the ID of the supervisor we want to reset, and then just post to this task. So we want to have something similar to this. So it's a render reset supervisor action. And I guess we're just going to have like one for each one of those. It's going to be a little tedious to add them, but well, terminate supervisor action. So it's almost like we're going to redouble all of these. But first, let's go add some stuff to the state. So, okay, resume supervisor ID, suspend supervisor ID, reset supervisor ID, terminate supervisor ID. Okay, great. So these all carry information. So if this is a string, if it's like populated to something, that means show that supervisor IDs, like the resume dialog. And if it's null, it means like don't show the dialog. We're also gonna add a, I guess, I don't know, I guess it would be like something like show resume supervisors, show bulk, no, show resume all, there we go, supervisors, and it's just going to be a Boolean, because we're just going to say yes or no. It's going to start off as false, and then we're going to set the correct one to true. So we're going to have show resume supervisors, we're going to have show suspend supervisors, and we're going to have show terminate all supervisors. So this is the three things we're going to have. Great. And now we just need to just follow TypeScript, follow where TypeScript is complaining, and everything will be fine. So here we need to initialize them. So let's make them all false at start. False. Boom. Sweet. Now we can go to where we edited them. We can actually like hook them up. So, right, what do we have? We have show resume supervisors. So this will be here. This dot set state show resume supervisors true. I don't even care about the formatting because Prettier will take care of that for me. This dot set state show suspend all supervisors true, and this dot set state the true, what, no, this, and then let it reformat it, beautiful, okay, now we have a nice little menu there. All right, so we have show, resume all supervisors, suspend all supervisors, terminate all supervisors. This looks legit. So we have edited the file right now 3 places, added some stuff to the state, added some stuff to the state initialization, created our menu, and also added the button to actually render it somewhere. We're going to add one more thing, which is a set of those async action dialogues. So render terminate supervisor actions. Okie dokie. So render supervisor table. Where the hardest part of developing this is just figuring out where in the file it goes. Maybe at some point it's worth investing in some sort of a automatic rearrangement. This like the more you can like just not have to make decisions and just like let some like predefined coded system make decisions for you, the better life is. I guess. Right, let's just start. So let's put this underneath here because it's kind of like newspaper style, so it will go below it. Render reset supervisor action. No. So let's see, it's going to be a show okay, let's do them in the same order as the menu. So show resume all supervisors. Great. Show resume all supervisors. If show resume all supervisors, if not, show return just nothing. Otherwise, we will do something and we'll have some async action that we take, and that action will be a post to, so we're going to start, we're doing reset, no, wait, resume, almost confused myself there, show render resume, all right, resume all supervisor action. Great. Show resume also. Okay, great. So let's do this. This is going to be resume all. So we're just going to be posting to this route right here. No dynamic data at all, actually. That's pretty cool. And then, okay, confirm button text. Resume all supervisors. Successful text. All supervisors have been resumed. I wonder if there's a better way to word this. Right, failed text. Could not resume all supervisors. Intent danger, sure, why not? On close, we want to set this thing to null, and supervisor query manager rerun last query. We will, if we're successful, we're going to reset this table. It's pretty convenient to already copy an existing action because like all these actions are basically behaving the same. Finally, what do we say in the dialog? Are you sure you want to resume all the supervisors? Question mark. All right, looking good. No need for inlining this text. Just go vanilla. Oh, why is this? Oh, okay. I can't set it to null. it's a boolean, so I set it to false. There we go. Thank you, TypeScript. Great. So let's figure out where we're going to mount this component. Now all of these dialogues, they're all portaled, so it doesn't actually matter where we put them in the React DOM tree or in the React component tree. Where do we put the other dialogues? I guess they all. Oh, interesting. I guess the pattern we followed before is that they're only actually shown if their respected thing is there, instead of them being always shown kind of rendering and all. I'm not one to buck a pattern, so I'm gonna just remove this, and then we don't even need this part. All right, so now I just have a pure dialogue. I can follow the same pattern here, and it can go together with its dialogue buddies. So it will go here. Wait, no, hold on. These are. This is not the same. These are not the same dialogues. These are like this dialogue. So maybe where are we putting? There we go. Task spec. Oh my god, so many dialogues. Do we just put them in the? Okay, let's find where they come from. Render suspend supervisor action. Oh, so they just come from the table, which I guess makes sense. I mean, like, those dialogues kind of belong to the table, and the table renders them. So let's follow that convention as well. And this is really nice because one of my favorite features of React 16, which is what we're using here, is fragments. So instead of having just this thing return a popover, we're going to have it return fragment, where there's going to be a popover, and then it's going to render this. Oh my god. That dialogue. Right, reformat, perfect. Now, this will always show up at this point because nothing is gating it. What is gating the other things, the other dialogues? Oh, I guess I think these, if you don't pass an action to them, they just don't render. All right, that's kind of like not the best, but I'm not going to start cleaning up the other files right now. I want the diff to be as localized as possible, just so it's very easy to review and merge. I think separately the other dialogues can be cleaned up a little bit. Okay, so what do we have here? Render bulk supervisor actions. Okay, so let's put back the check I had at the start. So show resume all supervisors. If not, show resume all supervisors, return. Right, perfect. So we built one of these dialogues. Before we go and build the other two, let's just make sure it works and make sure it looks good. Okay, so are you sure you want to resume all supervisors? Resume all supervisors, cancel. Cool, that looks great. That looks nice. So I think we've nailed it. So let's do okay, we did resume. What's next? Suspend. Suspend all supervisor actions. Okay, so everywhere we type resume, we will replace it. Ooh. Wait. Oop, no, didn't mean to do that. Got confused. The top one should be resume, and this one should be suspend. Oh my god. You copy paste something, you get 2 copies of it, then it becomes confusing. Okay, suspend. case, resume, like this one. Suspend. Suspend. Also, okay, so suspend all. Let's make sure that we got the API right. Supervisor, indexer v1, supervisor suspend all. Okay, we're gonna test these out. That's why we actually added those two supervisors. Okay, but let's make sure the English is good. Okay, confirm text, suspend all supervisors. Great. All supervisors have been suspended. Nice. Could not suspend all supervisors. Seems about right. Danger, it's definitely dangerous. I think anything that like is a bulk operation should be dangerous, but I'm wondering if like maybe these should be red, but like you can't just have like a whole menu full of red. So the dialogue can be danger. All right, suspend, this refresh. Are you sure you want to suspend all the supervisors? Cool. That sounds cool. All right. Now let's make a third one. The third one is going to be the scariest one. It's terminate. So suspend. We replace. And I know if you're thinking, wow, like I should really abstract this out into a component of some sort, because like there's so much copy paste going on here. Probably true. But out of scope right now. It doesn't hurt to be like verbose. I think you could imagine these things diverging in the future and maybe having more information. Like I actually would love to put more information here. I wonder what other information maybe you could kind of call out when this would be a good idea. Anyhow, let's keep going here. So suspend, terminate, terminated. All right, terminate all supervisors. All supervisors have been terminated. All supervisors have been terminated. Could not terminate all supervisors. That seems about right. Show terminate all supervisors false. Rerun last query. Are you sure you want to terminate all the supervisors? Cool, that looks good. All right, these are very simple. They're just posting to an API. That's so cool. It's nice to make simple things. It's nice to make simple things on a weekend. Suspend and terminate. Cool, so now all of these things are mounted, and we have a beautiful newspaper style arrangement here where we have the high level function that does something and then like the specific dialogues. So now I have my two supervisors. Let's try to bulk suspend them. All right, they've been suspended. It's showing up as pending here, and I have auto refresh enabled, but who has time to wait for that? So let's refresh it, and I can see that they're suspended now. Great. And now I can resume. Are you sure you want to resume? This shouldn't be. I don't think this needs to be a danger. Resume all supervisors doesn't sound dangerous to me at all. So I'll change that. Okay, so all supervisors have been resumed. Let's refresh. And lastly, terminate all supervisors. All right, all supervisors have been terminated. Great. All right, so now I think we said that in the resume, this doesn't need to be intent danger. This could just be intent primary. I don't have any supervisors. Damn it. All right, let's make a new one just to check this out. this on Wikiticker too. Yep, that looks good. All right. All right, so this is done now, but one thing is left, is very important. If I run the tests, so we'll run test just as our test runner. We have snapshot tests for everything. This should hopefully fail the test because we added a new button and we have a snapshot for this view. Now, this will give me hopefully one failure, and then we can update the snapshot very easily. And then we'll be ready to go. So this is a nice little addition here to this console. I think it's nice if somebody is like, oh, there we go, there's our failure. Let's scroll up. Yep, there's my more button and my fancy popover with all the menu items. So it's great that we're like really locking this down. So let's just dash U to update this. So now this will update that snapshot. It's a really cool feature of Jest. I really enjoy using that toolkit, and it makes generating these tests so much easier. So in the pull request, we will be able to see immediately, okay, wow, this is this changed. Let's have a look at our diff. All right, so there's my test, and there's the supervisors. There's the state that we added, the state initialization. Oh, this looks good. Okay, cool. And the last thing we do is, so we can commit, and it's a added bulk update actions, bulk supervisor actions to the web console. Get, oh my god, pure additions, funny. Push, I'm gonna push it to my upstream on the Imply branch, and get being so helpful will just pop up this URL for me. Oh, misspelled this. All right. Let's before we make the pull request, let's fix that. Get commit dash dash. Amend, is that correct? Added bulk supervisor actions. All right, great. So I'm gonna force push my upstream. I'm gonna go here. Perfect. So now it's time to leave a nice PR. So let's do web console, edit bulk supervisors actions, and added a more menu to the web console supervisor view to able to call the bulk supervisor suspend, resume, terminate APIs. And very importantly, I want to include a screenshot. Screenshots go a long way. not bad for a little bit of weekend work. So I can create my pull request. Well, actually, let me just first review this diff. Right, looks great. And thank you for joining. Hope this helps somebody. Hope this helps that you see that like adding stuff to the console isn't a big deal, especially if it's like a small action that you want to add. Maybe using the pre-canned components, it's pretty easy. And I encourage everybody to contribute.